In this today's breath work, I'm going to teach you something called lion's breath. If you haven't already seen that, the rest of it is going to be pretty straightforward. As I explain, I'm going to walk you through it. But the one thing I do want to show, so that way we can keep going with the flow once I get into the breath work, is this thing called lion's breath. So lion's breath is going to look like this, right? So when you inhale, you're going to breathe in at all times in this exercise. Always when I say inhale, exhale, you're always using your diaphragm, your belly, right? I'm pointing to my belly here, right? I know you can't see it clearly. Let me turn my camera down a little bit. So yeah, so breathing into my belly, I'm going to move back a little bit. So here, so my diaphragm is going to expand and contract. And this time when I say lion's breath, I want you to exhale with a right? You're going to exhale from your mouth. Mouth is going to be the source of your exhalation. Tongue sticks out. You make a fierce face. That's why it's called lion's breath, okay? And that's just a great way to open up your sinuses. It's just a way to empty your lungs and stretch your muscles in your face. And so that's one of the things that I'm going to be introducing you to if you haven't already been through one of that. Okay, so now I want you to please let me go back a little bit more so you guys can see me. So in this exercise, I want you to please put your palms, both your palms, just below the rib cage, right? So there's a V, as you guys know, there's an opening in the rib cage in the front. I want you to put your palms just on the abdomen, right below the lowest vertebrae, okay? And I want, if you're doing this right, you should be feeling your belly expanding. And there's a reason why when you breathe deep into the belly, the rib cage opens up, it expands your abdomen, and then as you exhale, the collapsing of the abdomen happens, the rib cage comes back closer together, it comes out as a warm breath. So let's go ahead and do this for a count in of 5, and exhale from the mouth for 5. Go ahead and close your eyes or downshift your gaze, whatever you feel comfortable. You could be doing this seated, you could be doing this lying down. Whatever you do, whether you're on the floor or a chair or on your mattress, just keep your back straight. Keep your body aligned, like as if the backbone is like a string of pearls. Every vertebrae aligns from the top of the head all the way down to the very end of the tailbone. Inhale for 5. And exhale for 5 from the mouth. Inhalation is through the nostrils. When you breathe in through the nostrils, you are filtering the air, you are warming your air, you're also moistening your air. So this is a very important part of the exchange of oxygen that happens in your lungs. There's a deep reason why pranayama, the breath of life, the art of breathing, insists on you breathing in through your nostrils. For the most part, there are some few exceptions. Only when I tell you, if there's a case that comes up, you might breathe in through your mouth, but for the most part, you will breathe in through the nostrils using your diaphragm. Now, let me tell you some science. There's a deep connection between the mind, body, and your breath. The reason that I ask you to breathe in using your diaphragm, which is your muscle in the bottom of your abdomen. Now, as much as it is regulating your breath, it is also tied to your posture, and it's also tied to your core muscles, right? So when you breathe in, when you exercise this muscle and know how to use that to regulate your breath, you're straightening out your posture. And with right breathing techniques that I'm going to teach you, you're going to bring your blood pressure down. You're going to make your mind become calmer. Your heart rate is going to lower. You're also going to improve your posture. You're going to reduce the pain in your body. So many benefits by breathing in right. So please take time. I know the rest of the day you might get carried away with what you're doing, saying, speaking, activity, and all of that. But for now, we will train our body. We'll train our body so much so in 15 minutes so that it hopefully becomes muscle memory. You begin to breathe nice and deep like this into the abdomen, expanding the belly. Just like when you see a baby sleeping peacefully, you'll see the rise and the collapse of the abdomen, not the chest. And when you breathe in through your belly, into your belly, using your diaphragm, you're activating your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and rejuvenate system in your body. It's part of your neural network, as opposed to when you breathe shallow into your chest, you're activating your sympathetic, your fight or flight response. We don't want to do that. So loving breath to continue nice and deep like this. And now we're going to add a variation to this. Now taking the inhalation for 5, but your exhalation, I want you to please go ahead and extend that to a count of 10. From the mouth, exhale for a count of 10. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 10. Now let's add one more variation to this. When you take in the inhale, I want you to hold at the top of your lungs, full lungs, for a count of 7. Inhale for 5, hold for 7, and exhale for 10, and then again hold for 7. Let's do this together. Hold. Exhale. And hold. Inhale for 5. Hold for 7. Exhale for 10. And hold for 7. Inhale. Last round. Hold for 7. Exhale for 10. Hold for 7. And inhale. So now moving on to the lion's breath. Taking a deep inhale into the belly, and as I showed you, you exhale with sticking your tongue out, making a fierce face, comes out with a ha. Okay, together. Inhale. Ha. Second round, inhale. Ha. Third round, inhale. Ha. Fourth round. And fifth round and final one. All right, so now in this next exercise, breath of fire, you've seen me do it several times. What you're going to do is you're going to breathe in into your belly, and the focus is now on the exhalation. You're going to release with a short burst using your diaphragm as a way to thrust the air out. Everything else in your body is steady except that you feel your belly's flapping as you're using a diaphragm. Comes out as a short burst. Nothing else should be moving. Your shoulder should not be bobbing. You should not be rocking forward and backwards. Everything else is steady. Together, taking a deep inhale, and let's go ahead and do a round of 14, round of 21, and round of 42 together. And take a break. Inhale. Exhale. taken a round of inhalation and into the second round of 21 together. And take a break, just allowing the air to go in and out regularly. Taking a deep breath into the abdomen, 3/4 of a breath out, and then third and final round of 42 together. And take a break from this. We are done with our breath work. Just sink into the feelings that you are experiencing right now in your body. Notice how you feel right now, the depth of your breath, the slower pace of thoughts in your mind, and the lightness that you may be experiencing in your body. And notice how everything is shifted just in 15 minutes. Believe it or not, folks, we've just been into this for 15 minutes, and notice how you're feeling different. You might be even feeling a tingly sensation in different parts of your body, and that's very natural. You're bringing in oxygen by deepening your inhale and exhale. Your amount of oxygen that's exchanged into the bloodstream is enhanced, and thereby you may be feeling a sense of coming alive. You've expanded some of the areas of the lungs that have become weak, or they've shriveled up, or for whatever reason that you haven't been expanding the air to go into that parts of your lungs. And by doing this, by holding breath, especially by altering breath, elongating breath, by regulating breath, you're activating those cells, you're bringing them back alive, you're making them do what they're supposed to do, which is giving away what the body doesn't need, which is the carbon dioxide, and inhaling and taking in the much needed prana, the life force that keeps every cell of your body, all your tissues vibrant. And you might be feeling that right now, and a sense of deep, deep relaxation. And we're just getting started here. So as you keep your eyes closed, I'm going to segue into a beautiful poem I picked out for you, which I came across. It's by a lady by the name of Virginia Satter, and the title of this poem is I Am Me. I am me. In all the world there is no one exactly like me. There are people who have some parts like me, but no one adds up exactly like me. Therefore, everything that comes out of me is authentically mine, because I alone choose it. I own everything about me, my body including everything it does, my mind including all of its thoughts and ideas, my eyes including the images of all they behold, my feelings, whatever they may be, anger, joy, frustration, love, disappointment, excitement, my mouth and all the words that come out of it, polite, sweet, rough, correct or incorrect, my voice loud or soft, and all my actions, whether they be to others or to myself. I own my fantasies, my dreams, my hopes, my fears. I own all of my triumphs and successes, all of my failures and mistakes. Because I own all of me, I can become intimately acquainted with me. By doing so, I can love me and be friendly with me in all parts. I can then make it possible for all of me to work in my best interests. I know there are aspects about myself that puzzle me and other aspects that I do not know. But as long as I'm friendly and loving to myself, I can courageously and hopefully look for solutions to to the puzzles and for ways to find out more about me. However I look and sound, whatever I say or do, and whatever I think and feel at a given moment in time is me. This is authentic and represents where I am in that moment in time. When I review later how I looked and sounded, what I said and did, and how I thought and felt, some parts may turn out to be unfitting. I can discard that which is unfitting and keep that which proved fitting, and invent something new for that which I discarded. I can see, hear, feel, think, say, and do. I have the tools to survive, to be close to others, to be productive, and to make sense and order out of the world of people and things outside of me. I own me, and therefore I can engineer me. I am me, and I am okay. This is a poem by Virginia Satter, who's an author and a family therapist, who wrote this poem when she was working with a teenage girl who had a lot of questions about herself and what life meant. So let that sink in for a second, folks. As you've come here to honor your worthiness to receive, as we're going to create a life that we want and manifest everything, manifest the abundance that we ever wished for, I want to reflect on the importance of owning every part of yourself. I'm going to talk about 5 things that are worthy of remembering, worthy of thinking about, worthy of pondering in order to manifest the divine abundance that you wish for in your life. The first thing is eliminating the attitude of, I don't think I deserve it. Remember, the universe will cooperate with you only if you think you deserve it. People that live in scarcity do not believe that they deserve success, and therefore they never get it. As if life will only give you what you think you deserve, for better or for worse. So really, what you think, what you believe in, is really paving the way towards your destiny. The second thing is, repeat this phrase: I am a human being expressing the divine. I'm a human being expressing the divine. I have this as my tagline, I have this as my motto. If you go to my Facebook page, you'll see this as my description. I'm a spiritual being having a human experience, which also means I'm a spiritual being that is bringing the message, bringing the voice of the divine into this world, into this physical experience, as a way of expressing myself, as a way of sharing my gift, as a way of playing my role in this divine, beautiful, majestic melody that's happening. And remember, we're indeed the holes in the divine flute. For those of you who are familiar with the word, the Gita, the famous scripture of the East, the Gita is something that they say was sung, right? It is something that was the melody that was played through the mouth, the divine lips of Krishna in that particular case, as they use a physical representation of the spiritual supreme being. But when that music was played, when that melody was played out, the gopis and the gopis, that is like the people in the village, were so enamored, were so enchanted, that they went into this ecstasy and they did this ras, which is this beautiful dance. So all of that is basically a metaphor that we are indeed the holes in the flute of the Supreme Being, this divine universe, call it by whatever name you want, Great Spirit, right? It's playing through us, to us, enchanting us, liberating us, bringing us back to our original, eternal, wholesome self. So never forget that we're indeed spiritual beings having this human experience and expressing the divine. And then the third thing, accepting without complaint. And one of the things that we have learned, complaining about things, complaining about what's happening around me, explaining, looking for explanations, etc., etc. And I say that do not complain. It's basically you are creating your block by complaining. You're creating that dam in this beautiful flow of life. You're questioning, right? You're not comfortable with what is happening, this beautiful machinery, this magic that brought you here, brought us here. Can you have imagined, if you think about it, if you talk about the theory of evolution, started with a big bang, with a shattering of some rocks out in space that then somehow coagulated and some metamorphosis happened, and this amazing concept of life occurred. Could have taken so many which ways. It could have gone in so many different variations. Brought us into the space where we're here. Just imagine this magical, beautiful body that we possess, the comforts that we're surrounded with, the company of people like all of us are holding space together right now from different parts of the world. Look at all of those series of incidents that had to have perfectly woven to each other together, perfectly aligned for us to be able to come to this moment in our evolutionary history. So why do we question it? Why do we complain, right? There's so much we need to be grateful for. Instead, we look at the things that we don't have. So folks, I tell you, please relinquish that attitude of complaining today and embrace with gratitude that which is happening. So you're allowing, you're being a beautiful recipient for all of the things. Again, sometimes in our limited vision, we may look at something as not so successful, or I'm not lucky, or I don't feel like I'm fortunate, right? But if you give up that attitude and be grateful, look for things that are really working for you right now. Shift that mind. I call it mastering the attitude of gratitude. And I know many of you have taken that course here on Inside Timer. So I talk about 10 different steps in that course of how you can completely shift from that attitude of complaining and talking about things that you don't have, right? And shift it into an attitude of being grateful for so much that we have going for ourselves, if you're willing to take the time to look at that. And the next thing is taking full responsibility for your life. As the poem said so beautifully, Virginia Satir said, every aspect of me, the bright side of me, the dark side of me, my physical and my emotional, the goods and the bads, what I've said and what I wish to say, the thoughts, my feelings, my words and actions, everything, I take complete responsibility for it. What I mean by that is not saying that, I was always perfect. I'm not asking for you to be taking on responsibility and then feeling a sense of guilt. No, that's not what I'm saying. But just embracing who you are, accepting this is where you are right now, basically puts you in that control center where you're in that position of being in the cockpit of your flight path, where you can determine and say, you know what? Choices that I've made in the past have brought me to where I am today, and therefore, for good or for better or for worse, choices that I'm going to learn, what I've taken away from as takeaways from those experiences that have informed me, that have made me wiser, will help me to be able to craft the life that I want, will be able to take my plane, my vehicle in the trajectory that I set to go on, that embark on the journey I wish to be on. Right? So I have complete control. That's what I'm talking about it, right? Accepting, taking full responsibility in your life is a very important part of making that shift towards abundance. And then the fifth is being congruent in your thoughts, words, and actions. I say that nothing can be more important than that being aligned in how you're feeling, the words you're expressing, and the actions that follow afterwards. If you are completely in that congruence of knowing that you deserve the best and nothing but the best, knowing that you deserve to be treated well, knowing that you need the best life, the best health, the resources that you need to be able to be successful in everything that you embark on. When you're feeling it, when you're expressing it, And when you're acting from that place, when there's integrity, the universe will conspire to make that which you wish to happen manifest. So there's a saying, surrender your BMW and take off on the TWA. Now, for those of you who don't get this reference, TWA used to be an airline here in the United States, which no longer is functional, right? So thoughts, words, and actions, TWA, when you take off, when you surrender your BMW, body, mind, and words, right? Surrender. So when I talked about being the flute of the divine symphony that's playing through us, when you're being that expression of the divine force that's working towards us, when you align with that, and that again comes from the attitude of gratitude, from owning yourself, owning every part of your drama that you're enacting, the expression that you're playing out here. Surrender it and saying that there is something higher than me, something greater than me, trusting that that supreme force is guiding you. And meditation is a beautiful, powerful way to align with that supreme being, to align with the divine wisdom, align with that supreme force that wishes the best for you, that has brought you to this point, like I said, gifted you with all of these talents, gifted you with all of these comforts, gifted you with these opportunities. And then trust that it knows what is best for you. And you will see yourself taking off, creating that abundance and creating that life, that amazing future that you want. So with that, my friends, I want to transition into the meditation. So Valerie's asking, can you say that again? Which thing, Valerie? Can you be specific, please? What thing you want me to say again? All right, so BMW and TWA. Okay, yeah, so when you surrender your BMW, right? BMW, body, mind, words, you take off in your TWA. That's the airlines. You take off in your thoughts, words, and actions, right? You take your plane towards that destination that you want. You take it on that path that you want, you always wished for. So that's what I'm saying, what I mean by surrender your BMW to the supreme force and take off in your TWA. All right. So now I want you to please go ahead and either close your eyes, or if you don't feel comfortable closing your eyes, just let the eyelids glide to a place of rest so that you're downshifting your gaze and you're not particularly looking at anything. You're just looking down, because you see the visual cortex has got a significant role in determining how you're feeling sensitized, where you're feeling a sense of external impetus, stimulation, right? So when you downshift your gaze, you're allowing your brain to sink into things that are not just stimulations of the physical. So now as you are relaxing and getting into this state of the heart, moving into the state from the ideas of the mind to a place in the heart, I want you to please recall one episode where you had the most refreshing shower. The most refreshing shower that you've had in your life. I want you to recall that. It might have been on a vacation somewhere, it might have been under a beautiful waterfall, or it might be your own bathroom, which you have a shower in every day. Whatever the case might be, pick one that really rejuvenated you. Now I want you to walk into that space. Imagine using your third eye that you're in that shower. You turn on the faucets, turn on the taps, allow that water to come down. You get this perfect temperature that you like the most, and you feel this water coming down. And as it comes down and touches your head and it trickles down through the body, you see it washing away any tension, any tightness, any discomfort, any dis-ease, and it's washing away, coming down, trickling away. As it rolls down from your feet, you can see like a dark color. It is the unwanted, this is the things that your body is releasing, the toxins, whatever it is, it's just being washed away and it comes out as an unclear. You're getting a complete clear flow from the top and a colored water that is washing away any residue of disease, discomfort, pain, stress, tightness, any such thing. Completely relaxing you, completely cleansing you. And then as you notice this air, the color of the temperature of this water changes. And this time you can feel coming down upon you water that is of a glowing bright red color. And I love that water to trickle down from your head through your spine all the way down to the base. And this color of red empowers you. It grounds you into the here and now. It allows your root chakra to take whatever it needs. And say this to yourself: I am accepted. I am supported exactly as I am. I have everything that I need. And then gradually noticing that the color of the shower changes into a bright orange, like the color of the setting sun, giving you the much needed nourishment and life force energy. This glowing orange colored water empowers you. It creates a sense of balance in you. It motivates you. And repeat this mantra to yourself. I honor my needs. I allow myself to be nourished. You're taking a deep breath. And as you let it out, the color of the water changes, and now you have the beautiful yellow water, just like the color of sunshine coming down on you. This softens your solar plexus as you're breathing in and out, expanding and relaxing and softening this area. And as you're breathing in this color of sunshine, you're replenishing, you're restoring your body. You're nurturing your body. And you repeat this mantra to yourself. I value myself. I am enough. I am more than enough. Take another deep breath into your belly, and then as you let it out, you notice the color of the water changing to a beautiful green color. You allow this color to percolate into you. It is healing your heart space. It's like the color of spring. As you're breathing in and out into your heart center, you're renewing and healing this area, allowing your heart to take whatever it needs. And repeat this mantra to yourself. I am greatly loved. I allow myself to give and receive love freely. I am nourished with the power of love. I am love. And I'm an expression of the supreme source of love. Taking a deep breath in, and as you exhale, the color of the water changes, and now you're being washed by indigo, like the color of the velvety night sky, coming down and washing over your body, and particularly washing the region of your third eye. This is soothing and balancing you. And this beautiful indigo water brings clarity, insight, and understanding. And repeat this mantra to yourself. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Taking another deep breath. And as you let go, the color of the water is now of beautiful violet. It's bathing your crown chakra, balancing, restoring, and harmonizing you. Allow your crown to take whatever it needs. And repeat this mantra to yourself. I am one with everything and everyone. I am one with the universe. And now with a deep inhale, and as you exhale, let go, the water changes back to being clear, bright, white, radiant with energy. A shower directly from the Supreme Being, the Supreme Source of love, the Supreme Source of wisdom, Supreme Source of life, washing all over you, cleansing you to the very bottom of your being. There's no space for anything that is anxious or resentful or worrisome. You getting washed, you're getting completely cleansed until there's nothing but lightness, pure, luminous, loving energy. And now notice that your body and your skin are radiating energy. Your entire being is glowing, radiating out the excess energy. Now with focus and intention, direct this energy towards your belly. This is the storehouse in your body. And let it be stored for whenever you may need it. In fact, I want you to put your palms just a few inches outside of the region of your core. Let this energy be stored in here. Let my energy bank, my chi, be filled in this area. And as you put your palms just a few inches above your belly, you may even feel a tingly sensation. You may feel the energy radiating out of your palms as it nurtures this place at the core of your body. Now, as a great act of compassion, I want you to please put your palms facing out as if you're sending out a blessing, sending out a prayer to the world outside, to somebody, some group, or some place. Anybody who you know or you can think of that needs the positive, healing, powerful energy that you're glowing with right now. And from the bottom of the heart, send them a blessing that may their life be free of suffering. May their mind be free of troubles. May they know joy and experience the strength that they need to live the life that they want. Now send a blessing, imagining the entire planet in front of you, and from your palms radiating out is the beautiful light of compassion, healing white energy. And imagine the planet Earth rotating ever so gently in front of you, and your luminosity is wrapping, is completely covering the planet Earth like a beautiful mist, a healing mist, a rejuvenating mist. And wish health, wellness, and clarity on everyone on this planet, all species, all living things, including the elements of nature, the earth, wind, fire, water, and spaciousness. This blessing is also a form of gratitude. Gratitude for Mother Earth for having sustained me for generations, through millennia, sustaining all of life that has brought us to this point. Surrendering and sacrificing and serving us so selflessly. Let it be known how much you love and you care for this planet. And now with your palms coming back to the heart center in prayer position, let's take a bow of gratitude for everyone and everything that made this moment possible. To be in this beautiful gathering, experiencing this divine bliss that I am experiencing right now. And notice for yourself, how do you feel in this moment right now? And if you express how you're feeling in this moment right now in one word, what would that be? And I invite you to please go ahead and drop that one word into the chat window whenever you feel ready. Veena is saying centered, Soumya is saying peaceful, Luis is saying peaceful, Jeff is saying better, Robert is saying energized, Ken is saying lost. Ken, please go ahead and type in why you're feeling lost. I'm happy to go ahead and dive into that thing and help to understand what you're going through. Shana is saying light, Neha is saying blessed, Stephanie is saying clarity, Sevilla is saying joy, Marcel is saying light, Lisa is saying grateful, Kyle is saying more grateful. Wonderful, folks, wonderful. So go ahead and type in what is it that you want me to talk about, ask any questions, request any clarification. Nicola saying aligned, Siglinda saying blissful, Jay saying vibrant, Anastasia saying happy. Awesome. Notice the shift that you all experienced. I'm so grateful to see this kind of complete radical sense of happiness, peace, vibrance, laughter, lightness. Beautiful alignment. Wow, it fills my heart. So folks, I also want to honor this moment. I thank you for your donations. This is important that your contributions help me to be able to continue doing the work that I do, help me to keep expanding my offerings, both recorded, live, video, audio, in person, etc., etc. And so I thank you for that. So Ken is asking, I experienced moments of divine connection during this meditation, but it's already faded. Well, Ken, I'm teaching you. So you see, this is a part of learning. So like anything else, like recently I taught my niece and nephew, they're 6 years old. I taught them how to ride the bicycle. And you know what? It can be a very frustrating experience, right? I mean, you know, here you have the comforts of the training wheels, right? And suddenly here Uncle Jay comes along the way and says, okay, you know what, kids, one morning we're just going to pull out those training wheels and we're going to go solo free riding without any support, right? So there's going to be some tumbling, some tossing, some swaying, right? But then you don't give up. The idea is practice, practice, practice. That's what I told my niece and nephew. And before you know it, the girl got it in the same first day and the boy got it a couple of days later. But you know what? He didn't give up. That's the secret. You just keep trying that. You make it go from this, maybe it was 30 seconds today. Increase that to 1 minute, increase that to 2 minutes. And you, before you know it, it says 21 days to make any kind of a practice. And before you know it, you'll be off cruising on your own. It'll become part of your muscle memory. It'll become part of your system. And it'll just be something that you will be completely free to practice anywhere, anytime, whenever you want. And you see, that's one of the things, Ken, I mentioned this a few sessions ago. Anything in spirituality should feel normal. And that's the point. We are returning to the normal because we are in the school of unlearning, right? If you think about all of this thing that we learn in sophistication, it's called advancement, education. It talks about the physical. It talks about how we look in the mirror, how much we own, how much we carry, what titles we're hanging on the walls of our office. Right? It takes us away so much, all of these physicalities takes us away from our core, our essence. So I call this the university of the great unlearning. You're peeling off all of these false sense of identity and you're returning back to the natural, to the original, to the core of your being. And that's a process, right? Even that shedding of those false layers is a process. So be patient with yourself. The fact that you had a glimpse is wonderful in itself, right? So like I said, this session is going to be recorded. Go back, Ken, replay these meditations. Actually, the whole thing today, if you notice, the entire hour was a great long meditation. It started with some breathwork But all of that, I didn't do really anything that separated it out where it was kind of a jarring opposite of a meditation. So I would highly recommend that you go ahead and just go ahead and listen to this, replay this, ask me for anything that is, you want me to clarify. I'm happy, you're part of my circle. I know that, Ken. And for the rest of you who don't know, I have a circle on this app called Meditate with Jay. And that's a great place for you guys to keep asking questions. So I show up every Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, and Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific. But in between, that doesn't have to be, just because I'm not live doesn't mean that I'm not available. So you can go ahead and drop in your questions, comments, what you want me to talk about. I'm happy to address it. And one of you mentioned about this idea that you wanted me to do a virtual retreat. And I think it was Debu. Your wish has been fulfilled. It's been granted. The divine universe responded to your request. So Insight Timer has requested me to come on as a workshop leader on this app. And the first thing that I've actually, just this before I came on live on this show, I put in an application for me to be doing a virtual retreat. So it's going to be a virtual day-long retreat. I call it Retreat at Home. And I've actually done these retreats for those of you who are part of my Soul Tribe before even Insight Timer brought us on live. So I did a couple of them last year. But now Insight Timer, just the beautiful community that all of you have been part of in this last 1 year that I've been teaching on this app, I'm going to offer my first virtual retreat on this thing. I don't have a date set yet. I've just put an application. So once they review, once they approve it, I'm going to be doing it. So like that, you can make your request, whatever the case may be, that you feel like you want me to dive into, expand on, delve into something that I haven't talked about. I'm happy to do that. Talking of which, I have my first in-person retreat. For those of you who live in the United States on the West Coast, or I don't know if you want to be brave enough to venture to fly to the West Coast, I'm going to be doing my first in-person retreat after 16 months. It's happening July 4th weekend here in Marin County, California, about 2 hours north of where I live. And it's only limited to 15 people. About 12 or 13 seats have been sold out. There's only 2 or 3 seats remaining. It's all on my website. Find Within is my website. FINDWITH period IN. So the period is before, within the word Find Within, right? So before the IN. You can go look at the schedule. You look at all of the other. I've got very detailed description of what I'm offering there. It's going to be, meditating in the midst of redwood groves. It's going to be sunset meditations and walks on the beautiful seashore and the Pacific coast. It's going to be healthy, organic, vegan meals. Morning wake up meditation and yoga practice by an amazing yoga teacher. Just a beautiful way to kind of go back into what I call from the isolation into the integration. And it's going to be very spacious living conditions. I know what many of us have taken our vaccines and feel more comfortable, but I know it's kind of still this lingering sense of unease, right? About the fact that, we've had this pandemic that has taken millions of lives. And so it's only limited to people who have had the vaccines, but also limited to only 15 people, although the place can hold 25. So all of that information, by the way, you can go find on my website. So I'd love to be part of the retreat. Mindful Bright says, yes, please check out. Like I said, there's only like 2 or 3 seats left. You can go ahead and book one and grab it before it's gone. That's great. Ellen says, can't wait to attend that. Amazing. Thank you, folks, for those of you who've made the donations. I appreciate it. Jeff says, if we are love, I am love. Why is there so much hatred in the world? Again, Jeff, it's because of that learning, the sophistication, that the false identification that the moment that we identify with what we see in the mirror, the moment we identify with anything that is physical out there, we have made a sense of disillusion. It's a sense of identification with something that's not real. And with that comes the worries, the fears, the doubts, the separation, the anxiety, the stresses. So in the midst of that misidentification, it's a figment of my own imagination, right? I think my sense of identity is by how beautiful I look in the mirror, or how tall I am, or how thin I am, or how many Facebook followers I've got, or Instagram likes I get, etc., etc. Any such sense of misidentification with who you are, which is that eternal, beautiful, radiant, luminous being that we've entered into the meditation today. Anything else is misidentification that is going to give us a sense of separation and thereby anxiety, and that anxiety causes the sense of fear. Why? Because the moment you perceive the other, anytime you perceive something to be the other, there will be fear. The great Maha Mantra, the great mantra of life. And therefore that's why meditation brings you back into the core of your being and gives you the sense of oneness. Right now today in Harvard Medical School, they've actually measured that using fMRI techniques, that they say, how do these yogis experience a sense of oneness? And that happens in the parietal lobe, the top of your brain. They've actually studied the brain, and they said when you have deep meditation, the parietal lobe is the place in your brain that processes space-time orientation. During meditation, the activity in the space-time orientation parietal lobe reduces down to a trickle, and you feel a deep sense of connection with everyone and everything around you. Okay, so that's how you diminish the fear. This is how you diminish the hatred. That's how you're able to embrace, and you say that, my fate is tied to the fate of everyone and everything in this universe. And that's why, as you saw at the end of the meditation, it's so imperative for us to be able to get into that state that, it's as much as important as for us to collect the chi, which I showed you in the meditation. It's important for us to also share that as an act of compassion, because when the people around me, when life around me thrives, I thrive. When everybody's happy, I'm happy. When they're healthy, I'm healthy. Because really there's no such thing as there and here. There's no such thing as them and me. We're all part of this divine, beautiful organism. That's life. That's prana. So folks, thank you very much. I appreciate the conversation. I appreciate the questions, the comments, the donation, your lovely, lovely presence here, your active participation. So like I said, I will see you Sunday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific, which is 12 noon in the East Coast, which is 5 p.m. in the UK, and it is 9:30 p.m. in India. And if you can't make it for whatever reason, then I will be back here, same time, same place next week. Like I said, find me on my website, find me on the Meditate with Jay circle on this app. One way or the other, I wish to stay connected with you, so stay strong, go shine your beautiful light, and be well.